Greetings, Kuzbanians. There it is. I said it. I bet
You did
thought
it!
that I would say it sometime, and I did. I said Kuzbanians because they're the aliens from the Muppet stuff. Welcome back to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by ToughPigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppets from Space. Well, usually 2 minutes at a time. This time it's more minutes at a time, and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And this week we don't have a guest. Our guest is you, the listener,
Welcome.
because we're wrapping things up. And this is it. We are talking about minutes 85, 86, 87, 88, and some of minutes 89 of Muppets from Space, in which the closing credits conclude. So this is it. This is the end. The end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we're here. So we pick up with the cast credits here. We kind of talked about this last time. Any other thoughts about the credits of the human cast?
No,
Anthony?
like I said last time, I think we talked. I think I said everything I have to say about him.
Yeah. All right. So then we have the additional Muppet performers. Some of these we have talked about. We have Ricky Boyd, Peter Linz, who was on this podcast.
He was on the show.
Thanks for joining us, Peter Linz.
Yeah,
a
thank
great
you,
guest.
Peter.
Alice Deneen, who played our favorite alien Gonzo in that 2-minute clip, that Cape for Ed.
The Cape for Ed.
Drew Massey, John Henson, Ed May. Ed May has worked on a handful of Muppet and Sesame productions. His Muppet wiki page notes that he played a cow in the Muppet boarding house in this movie. So
Great.
Adam Hunt. Andy Stone, he has worked on various Muppet, Sesame, and Henson projects, including Elmo and Grouchland, Animal Jam, where he played DJ3, and the Muppets 2011 movie and the Muppets 2015 sitcom, and Kermit Swamp Years, which we'll be talking about on this podcast sometime in the near future.
It's going to happen. I wanted to say about Adam Hunt.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to me that he's listed as an additional Muppet performer because Muppet Wiki says that he just did Scooter's voice in the movie.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. As far as we know, he didn't come to the set and put a puppet on his hand.
Right. But we hear his
Yeah,
voice
that's
obviously very clearly as Scooter. So
Right. And then the other one in this block of credits is John Kennedy, who we talked about with those on-screen cameos. Then there's some space in between the blocks of names on the screen, and then another section lists several more puppeteers. It's a lot of names. I will not go into all of them because I didn't look them all up. Sorry, I know they all have families. They're all very talented. You should all go look them all up on Muppet Wiki. Look for their websites and social media accounts. They're all very talented. I'll just go through their names quickly because they deserve it. Kim Allen, Evie Berman, John Boone, Dennis W. Britt, Tyler Bunch, Lisa Consolo, Roel Gorman, B.J. Geyer, Greg Jarnigan, Rob Killen, Jim Krupa, B. Lanoyle, Bob Lynch, Pamela O'Connor, Tim Parati, Tom Stanley, Lisa Stirs, Mark Sutton, Alan Troutman, Jay Tyson, and Greg Wallace. Talented.
all talented folks, I'm sure. Yeah. Some of whom I'm familiar with, many of whom I'm not, but
Right, yeah, exactly. Some of those names I couldn't tell you other things they worked on, but, it takes so many talented puppeteers to make a Muppet movie come to life. So when you see something like the beach scene or a brick house, just think, yeah, there's a lot of puppeteers in there.
and I know that there are several people because I tried to stump Becca with this on Hubba Wild once. I think I succeeded in our 1999 episode. There are several names who worked on this and Elmo and Grouchland both, who I have to imagine
Sure.
are like local North Carolina-based puppeteers,
Ah, right.
that I wasn't otherwise
Yeah.
familiar with.
Yeah, they probably just put a call out for local puppeteers who could come work on these.
Right.
Yeah, sure. There's a credit for the first assistant director, Michelle Ziegler. I looked her up. She's still active. She worked on the movie Saturday Night from a year or two ago, which, of course,
The SNL movie.
featured Jim Henson as a
Yeah.
character. Yeah, the movie about the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. The second assistant director, Frederick B. Clark IV, does not have a lot of credits on IMDb. But the other second assistant, wow, it's hard to say second assistant director quickly. J. David Brightbill, he is very active still. In recent years, he has worked on the TV shows The Righteous Gemstones and Homeland as a production manager. I have not seen any of The Righteous Gemstones. I've heard it's very good. I did watch the first couple seasons of Homeland, and that was very good.
I didn't watch either show.
At least for those first couple seasons, Homeland was very good.
Sure.
The art director, did we talk about this person yet? I don't remember. Alan J. Cassie?
I don't believe so. On this movie,
Okay.
Is he a returning person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. He also worked on Muppet Treasure Island and
Right.
Muppet Christmas Carol. His other notable credits include Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Rambo 3, and Patriot Games. So
Right.
quite active in the 90s. And then, have we not talked about the choreographer
Well, I don't think
yet?
we have, and we have to.
Yeah. Choreographer is Tony. It's Tony Basil
Basil,
or
Tony Basil.
Basil.
Yeah.
Basil. Yeah. Okay. Well, she's the singer who did the hit song Mickey.
Yeah,
As in, oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
she has an immortal classic song that everybody knows, Mickey.
Yeah. I actually was just last night. Was it last night? No, the night before. Just watching the movie Die My Love starring Jennifer Lawrence, and
Yes.
there is a sequence where Jennifer Lawrence listens to the song Mickey by Tony Basil over and over again.
Well,
So, yeah,
and
she has
that's
a cultural footprint that can't be denied.
to me that's one of the most that's a movie I adored. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought it was really remarkable.
Yeah.
And the Mickey sequence is great because it's basically a montage, but it keeps cutting to different points in the song to show that she's, like you say, she's playing it over and over. And we see Jennifer Lawrence's character go from feeling like this song is going to excite her to realizing that
Yeah.
it's not having the effect that she wants, to seeing her just kind of like being depressed and annoyed.
Right, but also I think kind of like, I guess I just have to keep listening to this song. Maybe it'll be better this time.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, which is kind
Um
of like what the whole movie is about.
yeah, a movie that also remarkably features Little April Shower from Bambi on the soundtrack, which
Yes,
I could
yeah, which
not
is
could did I was astounded to hear in that movie. And it
yeah,
works
which
really
is
well.
used in such an interesting way. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, Die My Love. That's an endorsement from both of us.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah. But yeah, Tony Basil, I guess a lot of people know her primarily from that song, Mickey, but she's done a ton of great work as a choreography and a choreographer and a dancer. She's worked with Talking Heads, David Bowie, Bette Midler, Frank Sinatra early in her career. Wikipedia notes that she choreographed the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when she was 75 years old, because she's still around. She's been around for a long
Yeah,
time. And and she personally knew Sharon Tate and Jay
Sebring.
Sebring, who are portrayed in that film.
Yeah. Well, I
So
was thinking
yeah,
about that because her, I mean, I don't know if it's her first credit, but an early choreography credit for her is Head, the monkeys.
the monkeys. Yeah,
Yeah, which is like, a lot of the people involved in that movie knew Sharon Tate and that whole scene.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Who directed that picture again? Bob Rafelson. He did, right?
yes. And
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson worked on the script. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it's like that whole
yeah.
like
There's
BBS Studios scene. Like it's just
and I
wild to me
think
that she.
right, because we think of her as early '80s because of Mickey, but
Yeah.
yeah, she was around with all those show business people in the '60s. I think she appears on screen uh, in that movie in the Number Daddy song, where Davy Jones sings this sort of like old fashioned showbiz song and dance number.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard to find that movie, I think, still.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was
Criterion put out
very.
that BBS box set that it was in a few years, number of years ago,
Oh,
10 years ago,
okay.
probably at this point. I'm
Yeah.
gonna look it up. Wait,
If
we
that
can cut this,
is
but
purchasable, that seems like a movie that I should own.
let's see. Yeah, it says Head, Easy Rider, Five Easy Pieces, Drive, he said, A Safe Place, The Last Picture Show, King of Marvin Gardens. Uh, this Blu-ray set is currently in print and available on Criterion's website. So
Cool. Sorry, what is BBS?
PBS stood for Bob Rafelson, Bert Schneider, and Steve Blauner, who were
Oh,
so
okay.
it
There
was
you go.
Bob, Bert, Steve, who founded this
Bob,
studio
Bert, Steve.
and made these movies. Yeah. Um
Great.
and yeah, so next I was gonna say next 50% off Criterion sale. You gotta snatch that one up.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I do keep an eye out for those. Yeah. That's when I got my copies of Jacques Tati's Playtime and what was the other one I bought last time? Oh, The Night of the Hunter. What's the other one I
Oh
bought
man,
last time?
what a picture.
Yeah. Yep. So then we get into the Muppet crew credits. Again, we've talked about a lot of these people before. Once again, they are all very talented. It's a lot of names, but everyone read these names, look them all up on Muppet Wiki, look them all up on IMDb. Is there anyone here you want to spotlight?
I want to talk about animatronic design John Gelman, or maybe Gelman, Gellman. What are the
Okay,
what are
probably
the,
Gilman.
what are the animatronics in this movie, do you think? Like nothing comes to mind. I'm sure there's
Uh,
like walking rats and things like that, right? Like
yeah, probably just things that we might not necessarily think of as being animatronics, but yeah,
yeah,
probably just stuff that wouldn't necessarily be obvious to us as animatronics.
right.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that one stood
I don't
out
know. Okay. Well, that means he did a good job,
for sure.
if it did not seem obvious to us. At some point, while these credits are rolling, we start to hear the song Flashlight, parentheses, Space Flight, as sung by George Clinton and Pepe. This is a new version of the song Flashlight by George Clinton's band Parliament. It seems pretty obvious that Bill Beretta and George Clinton were not in the same studio for this. Like we talked about this kind of thing when we covered the Kermit Unpigged album in a
Yeah,
previous episode,
yeah. We've talked about
where
this.
it's kind of just George Clinton.
It it always reminds me of the version of Unforgettable by Natalie Cole and Nat King Cole, where it's like
Oh,
his old
yeah,
recording, and she obviously he'd been dead for decades when she recorded it,
right.
but it's a duet. It's styled as a duet, you know.
Yeah, they're not responding to each other really in
Right.
any organic way. It's just kind of George Clinton singing, and Pepe is kind of reacting to what has already been recorded. But it's fine for a closing credits song. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it. Do you?
You know, it's fun. It's a fun recording. I like that they threw
Yeah,
Pepe into it. I don't know. Nice to hear another Muppet
sure.
sing.
Pepe, who maybe they could just tell before the movie came out that he was going to be the breakout character.
Yeah.
So they gave him a song. I just wanted to point out because my wife and frequent podcast guest Stacy always likes to look out to see who did the catering for movies when the credits are rolling. Ken and Art's Motion Picture Catering
Great.
did the
Great.
catering for this one.
Shout out to Ken and
We
Art.
always like when it's we like when it's wordplay. This one's not wordplay, but still Ken and Art. Uh, I noticed the second unit director credits include Kirk Thatcher, the guy we've talked about
Yeah.
a few times on this podcast,
And
and
we're going to talk about
of
him
course,
a lot more times on this podcast.
right, yeah, because he's gonna direct a lot more Muppet stuff as a director, not a second unit director, just the director.
Yeah. And the other second unit director is Thomas G. Smith, who we talked about on our last episode because he was the, let me see, I'm going to go look it up. Thomas G. Smith, who we talked about on our last episode because he was the producer of visual effects for this movie as well. He's the other
Oh,
credited
right, yeah,
assistant director,
yeah.
our second unit director. Also, Don Creech and Victor Yared, Muppet performer Victor Yared, get a credit as shipping coordinators, which
Oh,
I have to imagine means that they shipped Muppets and props from the workshop to North
yeah,
Carolina, probably.
probably, yeah. Like somebody has to put these alien Gonzos in a box and get them to North Carolina
Right.
in
Yeah,
good shape.
that's
So,
what I would guess.
huh? Yeah, good catch. Did we talk about the visual effects supervisor Paul M. Wagner yet? This is his first credit
I don't think so.
in the movie.
I believe
Okay.
so, yes.
Yeah, because I looked him up. He is also still at it. His recent credits include Game of Thrones, the movie A Wrinkle in Time, the live action Beauty and the Beast, and Maleficent.
Oh
So
wow. Okay. Oh, good for him.
yeah, he's still doing visual effects. Speaking of which, there are several special effects houses listed in the credits, like maybe 5 of them. But it occurred to me, if this movie came out today, there would be probably at least twice as many, because that's just how movies are now. Like, especially any
Yeah.
movie that involves aliens or any sci-fi element. There's just so many different visual effects houses involved,
Yeah.
and like everything is, they have to make the sky look blue on a day that they filmed that the sky wasn't blue, so they have to hire a visual effects house to do that. So
Yeah.
it's all different filmmaking now. Soundtrack was on Sony Wonder. I just wanted to ask, did you own this CD? I mentioned recently that I bought the CD when this came out.
I
Did
did
you?
not ever buy this CD. No, I kind of meant to at the
Hmm.
time, and
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Yeah.
One speaking of music, one that I believe you skipped over that I wanted to talk about is we talked about Jamshid Sharifi. We talked about Jamshid
Sharifi. Yeah,
Sharifi
the
last week.
composer.
Yeah. Uh, so we see a credit here for additional music composed by Rupert Gregson Williams. And right away, I
Hmm.
thought that this was the same person as in the last movie. We had additional music composed by Harry Gregson Williams, but that's his brother. Harry,
Oh.
yeah, Harry Gregson Williams is a frequent collaborator of Hans Zimmer, and so he did additional music for that one. And now his brother Rupert does additional music for this one.
Huh. So they probably just went to the same guy and asked him if he could do this one again, and he said he was too busy. But he just said that you should call my brother and do it.
Yeah, it's like when Jim Hanks plays Woody on toys and video games.
It's exactly like that.
It's just
Yeah.
like that.
Right. Or it's like that, and he just asked for too much money, but he said my brother can do it cheaper.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Maybe that's what
Rupert,
happened.
that might be true. Rupert Gregson Williams does still work all the time. He actually did the score for Wonder Woman, a movie that I
Hmm.
liked the score quite a lot. His most recent
Hmm.
credit is the score for Happy Gilmore 2.
Well, okay.
So he's out there.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah.
Maybe I never will. I don't
Right.
know. All right. After the song credits, there's a kind of a note that says the Bologna song is a copyrighted property of Kraft Foods Inc. and used with permission.
Great.
And I had kind of forgotten, but yeah, Pepe sings this, right? When he's serving bologna sandwiches
Isn't
near
it
the beginning of the
Rizzo walk?
movie.
Isn't it Rizzo as he's walking away holding a plate of bologna sandwiches? Pepe
That's what it was.
Pepe
That's
comes out and
yep,
announces the bologna sandwiches with no bread, but Rizzo's the one we see
right.
carrying a plate of it, and he sings it.
Yep, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So yeah, just to have a character just kind of hum the song as he's walking away, you got to get permission to do that.
right.
And then I'm always intrigued by the special thanks
Hmm.
at the end of the credits.
I knew you would be.
So we have Lewis. You know me so well. But we have Lewis Phillips, executive in charge. I wonder if the audience can hear the thunder outside my window
I
because
can
there is
hear it
a
a little bit.
severe thunderstorm watch right now, and lightning is striking, and it's very scary. We have Lewis Phillips, executive in charge of production for the Henson Company. This is another person who is still very active in filmmaking. His recent executive in charge of production credits include Song Sung Blue, which I have not seen, but I heard was pretty good.
Yeah, people liked it.
I believe Kate Hudson was nominated for an Oscar for that.
She was.
Yeah. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, his name is on. Hamnet, and Nosferatu, and Tar. So
Wow.
he's still at it. Then
Great.
special thanks to Veronica Alicino. Remember her?
Yes, that is Tim Hill's wife, who is in this movie
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the like production assistant on the UFO Mania Live broadcast.
Right. Yeah.
Stage manager,
I
I
think
think.
that's very nice. I think that's very nice when filmmakers give their partners special thanks.
I agree. I agree. And as we discussed back then, I think she's in all of his movies. She has a speaking role in all of his movies.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Then Jill Smith, as far as I can tell, she was serving as the in-house legal counsel at Jim Henson Pictures at the time that this movie was made. So
Huh.
special thanks to her. Makes sense. And then Frank Oz, and we know
Yes.
who he is.
Special thanks to him for being willing to participate at all in this movie. I
Yeah,
have
I
to
kind of think
imagine.
that's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, special thanks to him for making time to involve himself in this movie while he's busy working on Bowfinger.
right.
Um, yeah, then end of the credits. Jim Henson Pictures, Columbia Pictures. So Elmo and Grouchland was released as a Jim Henson picture. Did we say?
Sure was. Yeah.
Yeah, so there would be at least one more Jim Henson picture with Muppets in it on the screen after this. But
Hmm.
so yeah, that's kind of it for Muppets from Space of things that we see on the screen.
We did it. We did it, Ryan.
We did it. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I started composing a rap earlier today that I
Uh,
was gonna do for the closing credits, and it just was like too much about like how annoying Muppets from Space is, so I stopped. Like it wasn't fun.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
Um, any final thoughts? I mean, I guess we've kind of just made our opinions known throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said, I think many times, like doing it 2 minutes at a time. I definitely notice the annoying parts more. I still
Yeah.
basically have a lot of fondness for this movie. I just think it goes down so smooth. Like
Okay.
it just doesn't bother me, you know?
There you go.
So I don't think it's a masterpiece, but also like I don't know, I'll watch it again and I'll be like, yeah, that's pleasant. Couple of doctors.
Right. And well, a couple of doctors is very funny. So maybe we'll just leave it right there. So,
Uh-huh.
I have some screenplay draft notes from the November 25th, 1998 draft because we got to that one. That one came to us actually kind of late. So this is stuff that came earlier in the movie, so we didn't have the draft yet, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Like before the point in the movie when we received the draft. In the Noah's Ark scene, Gonzo is talking to Noah. He looks at the Ark and he sees Kermit, Piggy, and Rizzo inside the Ark, as well as Statler and Waldorf, and one of them is in drag.
Huh.
Interesting. So Statler and Waldorf are, I guess, a couple on the Ark.
Yeah. Which is not
In the
unprecedented. I mean,
first,
that's basically
that's, well,
Statler's well, I mean, Waldorf's wife is Statler in a dress.
Astoria.
Astoria,
Yeah.
yeah.
In the first scene at Covenant, when Singer is about to show Left his evidence of aliens, he pushes a button on the remote and a disco ball drops down, music plays, and the doors in the wall open to reveal two go-go girls dancing, one of whom says hi to Bobo as Rencho. But
Huh.
Rencho and Singer both seem confused about the whole thing. So I'm not really sure, like, why is that happening and they didn't expect it to happen when they pushed the button on the remote.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fine to cut.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be, it's very cartoony.
Yeah.
So it would be, I don't know, we would probably laugh at it if it did happen in the movie. It would
That might
probably
be
be
true.
worth a chuckle. In the scene where the Muppets are having dinner while Gonzo is sitting on the roof looking up to the sky with his telescope, in the movie, we notice that each of the Muppets only has a few vegetables on their plates. In the draft, Pepe has served everyone crown roast, but Rizzo steals the roast off the platter. So
Huh.
I think, yeah, I wonder if they maybe filmed that and cut it, because if it actually happened in the movie, that would explain why the Muppets only have vegetables on their plate if Rizzo stole the entree.
Yeah, it
That
would,
would
yeah.
make a lot more sense. Yeah. But I think it's the kind of thing I don't think I had ever noticed until this viewing 2 minutes at a time that they only have vegetables. So,
Right.
it's just whatever. When Gonzo gets struck by lightning, he's transported into space where he flies around in a shiny metallic costume. But there are no cosmic fish in the draft.
That's good and
But
fine. They should have
well,
not.
and yet somehow he understands this to mean that he's from space. So
Yeah, they needed something
I
to explain it. Yeah.
yeah, they need something to impart the message to him that he is from space and his family is coming. Yeah, it could have been something not the cosmic fish, or it could have just been the cosmic fish with different voices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, really.
Yeah. At the party in the backyard, Gonzo asks the Electric Mayhem to write a song to play when the aliens land, and Dr. Teeth plays the Close Encounters theme on a slide guitar.
Great.
That would have been cool. Dr. Teeth doesn't usually play the guitar, but, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah. Or have Floyd do it and put Floyd in this movie. I
Yeah,
guess
or
Floyd's the bass
just,
player. Janice is the guitar
have
player.
Janice
Yeah.
do it.
Have
Give
Janice
Janice a
do
few
it.
lines. Yeah, I guess, they just weren't ready to recast Janice yet.
Right.
I don't know. There's a scene at Covenant where Singer is talking on the phone to his ex-wife, Doris, and begging to speak to Ricky.
Oh no.
And then eventually, it's you figure out that Ricky is his dog.
Oh.
So, kind of funny, but it really just makes Singer even more pathetic than he already is.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Then in the scene that we now know as Hollywood Hogan's cameo, the stage directions refer to the character as a real big man in black. The credits I noticed when we were talking about them just call that character Man in Black, right?
Yes.
So, but in the draft, this character was called Real Big Man in Black. Rizzo recognizes him and says, "Hey, aren't you?" And he says, "Yeah, you really got to read the fine print in your team contract, man." So that makes me think maybe they were intending it to be a football player.
Yeah. That would make
Your
sense.
team contract. So I don't know if they had anybody specific in mind, but somebody large who
Yeah.
was on a team. And then finally, right? Yes, finally, as the Muppets are sneaking into Covenant, there's a moment where Captain Alphabet appears. So this would be a cameo for Mr. Poodlepants.
Poodle Pants, yeah.
Yes, but he appears as a shabby 2D looking puppet, I guess because he came off a cereal box, flanked by two men in black. He says, "I tell you, I'm just a cereal mascot. I don't know anything." And then one of the men in black says, "Don't give us any of your sugar-coated lies, Captain," as they drag him onto the elevator.
All right.
So, yeah. There you have it. Those are the highlights from the draft that we did not get to before, from the November 25th, 1998 draft.
Yeah.
So is this, as usual, I have collected some stuff from the reviews of the movie from the time. Should we go into those?
Yeah, let's do them.
All right. So it was not that well received
No,
when it came out.
I don't imagine it was.
Yeah. Roger Ebert in the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 2 out of 4 stars. His review says, "The new Muppets movie lacks the kind of excitement the first ones generated, maybe because Muppets have become a little dated, except for younger viewers. Or maybe because the kinds of animals in the 2 Babe movies show such an advance in special effects that we almost wonder why the Muppeteers go to all that trouble to physically manipulate their creatures."
Huh.
You may remember that Roger Ebert was really into Babe Pig in the City,
Yeah.
especially like more than anybody else.
Well, no, but not as much as Gene Siskel, who named it his #1 movie of the year.
Oh, that's right. It was Siskel who was
Yeah.
really
They both loved
Pig
it.
in the City. That's
They
right.
both had it in their top 10 that year.
Right. But that's right. It was Siskel who had it at #1.
#1.
Yeah.
And then that's his last ever top 10 list. He died in February.
Yeah.
You know? It's his last ever favorite movie of the year.
That was his. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad choice to go out on.
No, it's a good movie.
I think it's better than most people thought it was at the time.
I agree. I don't think it's as good as Babe. I don't, but I like it.
No, it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Ebert continued, "Maybe Muppets from Space is just not very good and they'll make a comeback. I hope so, because I just don't seem to care much anymore. Sorry, Miss Piggy. Really sorry."
And we'll find out what he thought of the Muppets 2011 because he was alive to review that one.
Yeah. Lawrence Van Gelder in the New York Times, his review, the headline was, "Muppets from Space relies too much on spent screen fuel." He said, "Cut through the attitude, funk and, beg pardon, Miss Piggy, sheer hamminess of Muppets from
Great.
Space. And inside lie the remains of movies like E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Men in Black, and My Favorite Martian. He said instead of sending up their cinematic sources, the creators of Muppets from Space rely too much on this spent screen fuel. Frenetic movement and loud music overwhelm warmth and compassion, and the balance of character, plot, irreverent humor, and innate decency that made some of the earlier Muppet movies so welcome is lost. So, at the risk of sounding like Oscar the Grouch, let it be said that Muppets from Space doesn't achieve exhilarating liftoff, but its bright colors, high spirits, brisk pace, brief length, and familiar characters making a lot of noise will doubtless seem an oasis of entertainment to many parents seeking a diversion for children on a hot, humid summer day.
Sure.
That's like a lot of critics. It's kind of damning with faint praise when they. I feel like I'm sure Tim Hill didn't read that review and go like, "Oh, good, thanks." You know, it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Oh, good. You think my movie is good enough for parents seeking a diversion for children on
Right.
a hot, humid summer day?"
Although we certainly saw reviews like that with the earlier movies. The ones that are generally
Right. Well,
better
yeah, that's
regarded. There
true.
was there were reviews for Christmas Carol that were like, well, I guess the kids will like it fine or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I guess
I
there's just something condescending about it, especially when at their peak, everybody just sort of understood that the Muppets were for everybody, including adults.
yeah.
You know, I guess that's what bothers me about it, even though I also agree that this is not a very good Muppet movie. Um, Wesley Morris in the San Francisco Examiner. I made a note that this one was very much written in 1999. Touched off by Gonzo's ongoing identity crisis and his turn to alien life forms for an answer, Space is so determined to be down that it goes so far as to make Gonzo's torturer a Muppet, a diabolical screwball surgeon who bears more than a passing resemblance to everybody's favorite sexually ambiguous, over-the-top, ever-troubled body comic, Andy Dick. His name, Dr. Van Neuter. Elsewhere, Miss Piggy plays celebrity deathmatch with Sports Night anchor Josh Charles, then goes on to deliver a cathartic beatdown to Andy McDowell, a woman who seems perfectly at ease trading body blows with a stuffed animal. David Arquette shows up as his rabid freak show self, only this time he's in a lab coat instead of that call ATT dial pad. But man-addled, suddenly Susan stand-up Kathy Griffin slipping Animal the tongue is all but a speed-dialed cry for help for love line counseling. Okay, yes. Now
And
I remember why I said that was very 1999.
yeah, and where did you say Wesley? He was in San Francisco
San
Examiner at the
Francisco
time.
Examiner. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the critic at large for the New York Times now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah. I always think of him from he was after Gene Siskel died. He was a guest host on Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert and the movies, and he raves about Mystery Men. He's Mystery Men defender Wesley Morris in my mind always because
Oh,
it's
wow. Okay.
it's the same episode as The Sixth Sense, which they both really like, but Roger was not as sold on Mystery Men.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Should I revisit Mystery Men or should I let it live in my memory?
I don't know. You should ask Wesley Morris what he thinks.
Maybe I will. But no, I guess I'm just impressed that he managed to get in references to. I mean, Andy Dick, okay, obviously we all think Dr. Phil Van Neuter looks like Andy Dick, but then Celebrity Death Match, Call ATT, Loveline,
Right.
all in just a few paragraphs. Then I looked on Letterboxd. I like to sort by low rated reviews and high rated reviews. Somebody named Alice gave this movie a half-star review. I say this as someone with no nostalgia for this movie. It is surprisingly racist. I genuinely didn't feel like finishing it because it was so uncomfortably racist.
The
He
Cosmic
doesn't
Fish
explain
probably.
why.
Maybe Clifford though too.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Clifford. Maybe she thought Clifford was racist.
Uh, I don't know. Somebody named John gave the movie 1 star and said, in the first three films, you have cameos from comedy legends such as Steve Martin, Mel Brooks, John Cleese, and Joan Rivers. In this one, you get Rob Schneider.
It's true. It's not. There's no lie.
It is true. Uh, Somebody named Danny gave it 1 star and said, I am genuinely covered in bruises with a fractured cheekbone right now, and this movie might actually be more painful than that.
Oh no.
Let's see. Somebody named Mary Svivu gave it 5 stars and said, when I say this is my favorite Muppet movie, people try and burn me at the stake.
Oh no.
That's a 5 star review, though.
Yeah.
Okay, some of these I'm not gonna read. Let's see. Princess Fi, 5 stars. I think as a child I renounced God because I watched this movie and saw that Noah wouldn't let Gonzo onto the ark.
Sorry.
Kermit Dweegi, 5 stars. This is the peak of humanity. Nothing else tops this. Somebody
It's
named
true.
Young Mamechi, 5 stars. This movie is art and one of the most important feats achieved by mankind. It belongs on the Voyager Golden Record.
Great. Love that.
I'm surprised I don't see more reviews invoking the Voyager Golden Record.
Are you?
Uh,
Okay, sure.
and somebody named Jazzy gave it 5 stars, and that review reads, yummy, yummy cereal.
Great.
And then I think this is my last category of reviews. Oh no, I still have. I'm going to skip some of these. On Amazon, somebody named DL gave it 1 star and said, "Not really G movie. This is not the Muppets I remember. Too many non-G scenes because they're too scary / ominous, fuel for nightmares, or freaking violent for young kids. Whoever rated this as a G movie was smoking the funny papers." We had to stop it after trying to fast forward through it. We wanted to like it, but it was a big thumbs down.
Was smoking the funny papers?
Yeah.
All right.
So don't smoke the funny papers,
Don't,
kids.
don't do it.
Somebody on Amazon named Chris S gave the movie 5 stars. This Muppet movie is one of the best Muppet movies. It's not sickly sweet and sappy or uses some barely veiled storyline to teach you how to brush your teeth.
Okay.
It uses the entire cast of Muppets and an awesome soundtrack.
There's
Okay.
always all those Muppet movies are using a barely veiled storyline to teach you how to brush your teeth.
Yep. Poco
Are
Click
they
Clock
are
gave
they
it five
thinking of
stars.
are they thinking of Walter brushing his teeth? Walter brushes his
Oh,
teeth in the
there is toothbrushing in that one.
French the Happy
Oh, so they
Song.
thought that was like a secret agenda in that
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Wow. Poco Click Clock, 5 stars, said, I conceived my child to this movie.
Great.
So, okay. Good for you, Poco. But yeah, it's interesting too. I just encourage everyone to seek out reviews. Also on IMDb, some of the reviews from when it came out are interesting. Like this one is by somebody named the Dude 47374. They gave it a 9 out of 10 on IMDb. What's the fuss? A lot of people complain about the fact that in Muppets from Space, the Muppets do not do their own singing. Who cares? A lot of college friends and I love the Muppets, but all agree that no one likes the singing that the movies usually put you through. It is one thing to have a musical number that demands music, like the Electric Mayhem, and it is totally another to drag through 5 minutes of having Kermit and Ms. Piggy singing Love Let Us Hear.
Ms.
Parentheses,
Piggy.
reference to, yeah, parentheses, reference to Muppet Treasure Island. The funk music they use suits the story well, and more importantly, it suits the main character, who is obviously Gonzo. The humor is the great vaudeville-like humor that the Muppets are known for having. The movie is phenomenal, but if I had any complaints, it would be how Ralph Scooter and the Electric Mayhem don't get much screen time. This is the last time we got to see the Muppets in action before the horrid, evil control they got from Disney. Want proof Disney ruined the Muppets? Watch Muppet Wizard of Oz. So, yeah, I guess I just am intrigued by the thought that this is somebody who thinks that it's better when the Muppets don't sing.
Yeah. Well, like we
in a
talked
movie.
about, those people exist.
Yeah, they do. And then the thought that this movie is a great example of the Muppets doing vaudeville-like humor.
Yeah, there's not much.
So then, this is the last review that I have. I mentioned in a previous episode that back in the day I was posting on the rec.arts. Henson plus Muppets news group on Usenet. That's how Muppet fans used to talk to each other about Muppet stuff on the early days of the internet, way before there was Discord. So I did find a post that I wrote on July 19th, 1999. I was 18. This is called Muppets from Space According to Me. And I wrote, what was good about it? Pepe. A return to the brief and random cameos of the past Muppet movies. Even Kathy Griffin was funny.
Even Kathy
The
Griffin.
opening scene, I mean, the opening scene with Brick House. Awesome, awesome scene.
Hey.
That's how you know that this is 18-year-old me.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine me saying, awesome, awesome scene
I
to
mean, I
me?
just heard you say it twice.
The presence of the Electric Mayhem and their bus. I want the bus.
I want the
The
bus.
reference the reference to the sadly temporary line from the first movie. Pepe. Johnny Fiamma and Sal's scene. Pepe.
Wow.
Clifford finally making his movie debut. Too bad Kevin Clash doesn't have any other recurring characters. The great and wonderful thought that all of the Muppets are living in one big Muppet house.
It is
I do
great.
still like
I
that.
agree. Yeah, we talked
I
about
like
that.
that concept. Fozzie actually got to be Fozzie. Does he though?
Did he?
I would
I mean,
yeah,
I guess
I
you
think
mean
I
he's
have to
not.
disagree.
It's not Mr. Bimbo,
Oh, that's probably why I
right?
was thinking that, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I completely agree with my 18-year-old self there. Sweetums and the Penguins in the Tub. Link. I guess I was just so thrilled to even see Link at all on screen
Right.
after,
Right.
not, after nothing. Pepe. Jeffrey Tambor's performance was good. Pepe.
You're obsessed
And
with
then
him.
I mean, I don't know. This is post Muppets Tonight.
Yeah.
Muppet fans had Pepe fever. What wasn't so good about it? A definite and noticeable lack of Jerry Jewell. Wasn't quite as clever as the other movies have been, which is interesting though because his name is there in the credits, so I knew that he
Yeah.
was involved in writing it.
Right. But and we know that he wrote some of the stuff we don't like. Like we know that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it then. I didn't know what his
No, I'm saying,
contributions
but
were
like
exactly,
knowing it
but
now, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Why is I'm going to go back there someday on the CD but not in the movie? Yeah, that is a good question.
It's that should be over the credits. I don't understand. Like, why
Yeah,
did they
yeah,
record that and it's not
Gonzo's.
over the credits of the movie?
I have no idea. His heartfelt new recording of I'm going to go back there someday.
Yeah.
Uh, the Dawson's Creek cameo, as I've mentioned, was gosh awful.
Gosh, awful.
That's what I said.
Great.
No real musical numbers other than Celebration. I wanted more Electric Mayhem. Lost a lot of steam towards the end. After the spaceship landed, I started losing interest. Yes,
Still true.
18-year-old me, you are correct.
Still true.
Miss Miss Piggy didn't do much except attack people.
You're
All
not
right,
wrong.
got a point there. The bizarre reference to Independence Day with Dr. Phil Van Neuter. Apparently, I was not into the release me gag back then.
No.
Then I say, overall, better than most summer movies. Hopefully, the next one will be Jules' script.
Oh.
Sorry, 18-year-old Ryan. I'd like to see them do Muppets Go to Las Vegas or a Muppet slasher movie, but that's not going to happen. The closest we'll get is the Liza Minnelli Muppet Show. So
Great.
that's what I had to say.
I thought you were gonna
July
say I
1999.
thought you were gonna say the closest we'll get is Las Vegas. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, I could only imagine.
Hmm. Yeah.
No, I guess it was not. It was a couple years after this, but I did sort of like the closest I've ever gotten to writing Muppet fanfic was I started writing, I guess what in my head was a spec script for a screenplay where the Muppets go to Las Vegas, but
Did you?
I
So you
didn't
the
get very
idea
far
was
into.
percolating.
Yeah, my idea was that Kermit inherits a casino from an aunt that he didn't know he had,
Sure.
or an uncle, and then
Yeah.
the Muppets have to run this casino. But yeah,
Great.
that was the thought. But yeah, so there's those reviews.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think the only thing that I have left here, unless is we have the question.
Well, do we want to do the box office game before the question?
Oh yes, the box office game. Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah. All right. So last year, so the box office game is the game at the end of every episode of the Blank Check podcast, a podcast we're both big fans of, in which David Sims quizzes Griffin Newman on the box office top five of the weekend that the movie came out, the movie that they're covering. So last year
Right.
you quizzed me on the box office of Muppet Treasure Island weekend. So this year we're switching, and I'm going to quiz you on this weekend that Muppets from Space came out, and the movie actually came out on a Wednesday, July 14th,
I,
1999.
I'll just say I think Anthony's brain is probably better suited to being good at the box office game than mine, but we'll see how this goes.
See how it goes. But the weekend we're looking at is July 16th through 18th, 1999, because the movie came out on a Wednesday. And
July.
July and Muppets from Space opened number 10 at the box office.
Ooh, yeah,
Number
wow.
10, $4.8 million. Uh,
Mm,
so not great.
yeah.
So number one at the box office was a new release this week. It is the final film of one of the great filmmakers of all time.
Is it Eyes Wide Shut?
It's Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, okay, okay. I did not see that in
Brand new. Came out
theaters,
this.
but I saw it when it was new to DVD.
I saw it, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago for the first time.
Hmm.
Did not care for it. But yeah, if you can believe it, movies were so popular that Eyes Wide Shut made $21.7 million opening weekend.
Yeah. Well, it was the marketing, right? It was the whole like it's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman and they're married in real life and the teaser trailer is just them like making out and a
Right,
sexy song is playing.
right. And Stanley Kubrick, and he was dead before it came out. Like everybody knew it
Right,
was his
yeah.
last movie. For sure. It's his first movie in 12 years.
Yeah,
Full Metal
right.
Jacket was his previous movie. But yeah, so that's number
Yeah.
one. So are we going to go all the way down to number nine? That's what I think we should do. Get all the way down to
Okay,
Muppets from
yeah.
Space. Yeah.
Sure.
Um, Number two at the box office is in its second weekend. It is a teen comedy, one of the definitive teen comedies of the era.
Summer 1999, I'm going to say American Pie.
You are correct.
All right.
Yeah. American Pie, 13.5 million that weekend. Uh, Number three is
Well, so I'll just say I think last week I talked about me being prudish as a youngster. When American Pie came out, I was just like, why would anyone want to see a movie like that? But
same, same.
I've I've warmed up to it somewhat.
I've never seen it. So should I go see it? Should I go watch it? Is it the greatest movie ever made?
Oh, it's definitely not the greatest movie ever made. And you know what? There's probably stuff in it that has just aged poorly. I don't
Yeah,
know,
right,
but
right.
maybe you want to see it just to to know about the cultural moment.
I gotta know. I gotta know about a movie I didn't want to see when I was 14.
Or you could just watch any number of other movies that you haven't
Right,
seen
right. I was gonna say, like, it's a movie
instead.
directed at teenage boys, and I didn't want to see it when I was one.
You're
But
right.
number three is a horror movie, a somewhat comedic horror movie that is about a creature.
Somewhat comedic horror movie that is about a
Hmm.
creature. Is it an American werewolf and whatever the sequel?
Paris, no, it's not. This one is
No.
also new this weekend. I should have said that. It's I think it's best remembered for featuring an iconic sitcom actress.
Who was on a sitcom at the
She
time?
was not on a sitcom at the time. She had been in two very famous sitcoms and continued working well into her 90s. She's one of the beloved TV stars of all time.
Well into her 90s.
Yeah, didn't I? Yeah, well into her 90s, yes.
Oh. Okay. So it's Cloris Leachman,
It's not the other one.
Betty
It's
White.
Betty White, who appeared in the comedy horror film from 1999, starring Bill Pullman.
Oh, wait. Is it oh man, it's not Anaconda. It's
No,
not
it's about a crocodile. I'll tell you that.
yeah, Lake Placid.
Lake Placid, correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You had to give me too many clues on that one.
sure. I think of it as a movie that Betty White is in. Like first, I don't because like
I
Wyatt,
have
what a
not
weird
seen
thing.
that one.
Yeah, I haven't either. Number four at the box office is one of the big comedy stars of the moment. One of the big late 90s comedy stars in one of his big hits.
You would say late 90s specifically?
Into the 2000s, but he had a real run in the late 90s.
Okay, so it's not Jim Carrey.
It's not Jim Carrey.
Um, late 90s. So it's not Eddie Murphy.
Nope.
Is it Martin Lawrence?
No.
And is this its first weekend? Has it been around a
This
while?
is the third weekend of release, and it had made $134 million by this time, and it went on
Hmm.
to make more than that.
And it's a comedy.
It's a comedy. I mean, it really is a comedy. And he's really in the middle of his hot streak here. This actor,
What is it rated?
PG-13.
Is it Chris Tucker?
It's not Chris Tucker. No, you are not. You are not thinking in the right
uh,
type of performer.
okay. Who else is in
It's
it? Give me another hint about who else, about another performer in it.
um
Or is it just kind of like one guy and everybody else?
the other most obvious person would just like give it away entirely.
Wow.
So I'll tell you, actually, it does feature a Muppets from Space cameo guest star in a supporting role.
Rob Schneider?
Who? Yes,
Is it Adam Sandler?
it's a Sandler. It's one of his big hits.
Okay, 1999. The Water Boy. No, that was earlier.
Nope, that's 98. Next one.
Yeah, because Waterboy I saw when I was still in high school. So after I graduated high school, I don't know. People are probably yelling at this point.
Yeah, they must be. I can't. I
I
can't.
don't know.
I can't. I'll give. Okay, so the clue that I didn't want to give away was that it's two future Disney Channel stars are his
Oh, it's
co-stars in
Big
this.
Daddy.
It's Big Daddy. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't see that. I've never seen that one.
It's. I mean, whatever. It's not good.
Yeah. Okay.
But just when you didn't get it, I was like, he's not. He's just not. He's not thinking of the existence of Big Daddy.
Right. Right.
But so it did. It made. Let's see. Is that worldwide? That can't be true. Is that U.S. only?
Is the number
Sorry,
bigger
I
or
gotta
smaller
look at
than you
this.
thought? Than you thought?
It's bigger than I thought, which is the all right. So that was worldwide, 234 million. It made 163 million dollars in the U.S. though, in North America.
Yeah.
163 million. That's huge
He.
for an Adam Sandler
I
movie.
mean,
He
like
was
you
so
said, he was.
popular.
Yeah, he was on such a streak.
Yeah. So number five is an action comedy that is widely regarded as a flop. One of the definitive flops of the era, I would say.
Pluto Nash.
Nope, that's later. That's 2002.
Osmosis Jones.
Nope. Or that's it's this one is a reteaming of a star and a director of a big hit action comedy, sci-fi action comedy that we have invoked on this season of the podcast many, many times.
We've invoked this many, many times.
A movie that we've compared certain things in Muppets from Space are trying to be like this movie.
Oh, Men in Black.
Right. So the
So
director
it's
and star
Will
of Men in Black
Smith.
reteamed for
Oh, it's Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
with the giant
Which it,
spider.
with the giant spider, exactly. Yeah. All right, so that's your top five: Eyes Wide Shut, American Pie, Lake Placid, Big Daddy, Wild Wild West.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
no, number six is also a new release. It is a romantic comedy, comedy drama ensemble cast.
Okay.
It's generally well regarded among people who like it. It certainly has like a vocal fandom still.
You said it just opened.
Yeah, it's brand new.
1999. This is not the summer of my big fat Greek wedding, right?
No, that's 2002.
Okay. I didn't think so. Well regarded. but comedy drama, so it's not like a rom com.
No, it's like about a group of friends growing up. They're young adults. But it's about this like friendship that they've had for years.
Yeah, you would be better at this game than I, I am.
Sure.
Okay, because it's this is too late for now and then.
Yeah, it's not. No, these are adults. I mean, they are like in their early 20s, and the three main characters are men.
Okay,
Maybe you don't even know this movie.
it's possible I don't even know it. Yeah.
I'll tell you so the leads are Richard T. Jones, Omar Epps, and Taye Diggs.
No, I don't think I know this one.
Okay, the picture is called The Wood.
Oh, yeah, I've heard the title, but I don't really know anything about it.
Sure. Also
Have you
features
seen
one
it?
of my favorites. I have not seen it. I should see it. Also features one of my favorites, Sana Lathan, who I think is great and adorable in
Yeah,
everything.
sure.
So I really should see it. Number 7, you've definitely heard of. It is the big Disney animated movie of the year.
I should have prepared to be ready with this. Is this Tarzan?
It's Tarzan, yeah.
Okay, good. Phew.
Again, and again, we kind of forget a big hit.
Oh
That
yeah,
movie made
right.
that movie made 171 million dollars,
Yeah,
which is like more than Mulan or Hercules or Hunchback had made. Like it had been a few
yeah.
years of like diminishing returns, and then Tarzan was a comeback.
Like I didn't see Mulan in the theater. I mean, as a teenager, I was kind of like, I don't need to see every Disney movie anymore. But for some reason, Tarzan felt like the one to go back and see.
It seemed exciting, and it was. I think
Yeah,
it's very. I love it. I adore that movie.
and the trailer looked really cool with him sliding around on those trees.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Um, Number 8 is the number one box office hit of 1999.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, correct?
Yeah.
It is in its. Let's see. It has been. It's in its ninth week of release. It has made $395 million.
I'm a little surprised it's not higher than number 8, honestly. But
Well, it's old though. I mean,
yeah, sure. But still, I mean, it was humongous.
right. And number 9 is a drama about a military officer.
Captain Corelli's Mandolin.
No, this stars. I'll just tell you, it stars John Travolta. I don't know hardly anything about this movie besides the title and the fact that it stars John Travolta. I would be very surprised if you've seen it.
Is the name of the officer in the title?
Yes.
Because this is ringing a bell, but I don't know if I can come up with
It is.
the name of it.
I should say the officer's rank is in the title, not his name.
Oh,
And also a member of his family is in the title.
the sergeant's wife.
The general's daughter.
Oh, see, that does sound familiar. I kind of remember when that came out.
Sure.
I've never seen it, but okay.
Yeah. Right. All right, so there is our box office for the
All right, I
and then
didn't
number 10
embarrass
is
myself
Muppets
too
from
badly.
Space. No,
Yes,
you didn't. You did
number
great.
10, Muppets from Space. Got it.
Yes, number 10 is Muppets from Space. So here we go.
Cool, thanks.
That's pathetic, I think. 10th opening weekend? That's
Opening
sad.
weekend. Yeah,
Like, it
I
actually
don't
just
know.
makes me sad.
I mean, I think a lot of people just didn't even know that it existed.
Yeah.
They didn't know there was a Muppet movie coming out.
Right.
Even a Muppet movie that I think is not a great one, I don't want it to open at number 10. I want the Muppets to do well. Yeah, okay. Then I guess the last thing remaining is for us to answer the question, because we've already talked about what's our history with this movie. That leaves us to answer the other question: what is our favorite sci-fi movie or TV show or other? You've been saying property. I've just been saying thing when we ask
Yeah.
our guests. Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
I'll go first, I guess, because you're the host
Okay.
for this one.
Sure.
So I thought a lot about this, and there
Me
are
too.
a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of things that other people have said that are very near and dear to my heart. I love Doctor Who a lot. I think you know that. I love Star Trek a lot, particularly Deep Space Nine. I think is one of the greatest things ever made.
We in a previous text conversation before this recording, I predicted that your answer would either be Doctor Who or Star Trek, possibly Deep Space Nine.
Right, you did. Yeah, yeah.
So now
You
I'm
also
intrigued to see
predicted
where this is
next
going.
you also predicted Next Generation for me, which is I love it, but not as much as the original series.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, you make references to it a lot, but
well, I think part of that is that Joe and I both like know Joe is more of a next gen fan than an
yeah.
original series fan overall, I think. So like he and I talk about it a lot. I think that's
Okay, so it's just
probably part of
inevitable
it.
when the two of you are talking about Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um uh but I thought about those. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is what I always say is my favorite novel when kids ask,
Uh-huh.
especially when I worked in middle school. I always said it. It's not really much of an elementary book, so I don't talk about it as much.
Hmm.
But in the end, I had to go. So speaking of our pal Joe Hennis, when he was on the show, he said the DC universe, DC Comics universe, as
Yeah.
his favorite, arguing that superheroes are inherently a science fiction concept, and I think that's right. And I
Hmm.
thought about that too. Obviously, the DC universe means a great deal to me. So, a Swamp Thing or a Doom Patrol. I thought about saying something like that, but I have to go with a different comic book. And
Oh.
so my answer is Astro City by Kurt Busiek and Brent Anderson,
Oh.
which I think is the most beautiful love letter to what is great about superheroes that has ever
Yeah.
been created.
Yeah.
It started in 1995. The newest issue so far was in 2022. Might
Hmm.
might come back someday. It was
Yeah.
yeah, it was briefly an ongoing series for like 4.5 years, 52 issues in the mid 2010s. And I remember before the 2010s ones came out, worrying that it was like, oh, it's going to be a regular series. It won't be as good. During the year 2020, Roz had gotten me all of the hardcovers of that ongoing series. I hadn't read any of it yet, and I decided I was going to read one issue a week because there are exactly 52.
Ah.
And I read it uh, every Wednesday, and I didn't
Huh.
know in January how much that was going to help me get through the year 2020.
Oh,
Which
wow. Right.
but it's all great. And what is great about Astro City is it's not that it's realistic. And I know that you've read the book, Ryan, but our
Hmm.
listeners perhaps not have. It's not that it's realistic. People talk about it as being like a realistic superhero book, but it's not that. What it is a look at what it would feel like to live in a world with superheroes in it.
Yeah.
There are recurring characters, there are regular heroes we see over and over. It's not really about any one of them. It's about the city, it's about the world, it's about the people who live. There's so many issues that are just about like this woman can't get to work because she is caught up in a superhero fight in traffic on her way to work
Hmm.
or whatever. You know, my favorite issue of Astro City, my favorite superhero story ever told is Ryan knows what I'm about to say. Do you want to guess?
Yes.
You know what I'm about to say.
It's the nearness of you.
It's the nearness of you. It's Astro City One Half,
Yeah.
which is about a guy who dreams about the same woman every night and he doesn't know why. And what he eventually learns is that before a continuity altering crisis, she was his wife. And because the continuity changed, she never existed. And it's just like, obviously, that's not a thing that would happen in real life. That's not realistic. But it is so sweet and
Hmm.
heartbreaking that this is the story they've chosen to tell about the effects of living in a superhero universe. And actually, at the end of the ongoing, we see that guy again and we see what he's been doing, um, reaching out to other people in similar situations.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that. That's cool.
And I was not at all excited to read a sequel to that story. And that turned out really well too. It's the last three issues of the ongoing.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my answer. Astro City. I think anyone who likes superhero comics or has any affection for superheroes as a genre, I can't imagine anyone being disappointed in that book. It's it's a great premise, and in 110 issues and hopefully counting, they explore so many different nooks and crannies and aspects of superhero storytelling. And
Right.
the fact that it exists makes me so happy. Talking about it right now makes me want to reread the whole thing. I got the whole series in trades and hardcovers sitting right over there.
Yeah.
So that's my answer, Astro City.
Wow, that is a great answer because that kind of distills like so many other answers that you could have given into
Hmm.
one answer. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Great. Did you say
So
who writes it and draws it? I
I
don't.
I
Maybe you
think I
did.
did, but I'll say it again. Written by Kurt Busiek, almost entirely drawn by Brent Anderson. There are a few
Right.
fill-ins by other people, but not many.
Yeah. Wow. Good
And
answer.
covers by Alex Ross, which are the
Hmm.
I think like the best ever use of Alex Ross is that every single issue has one of his great paintings to be like, this is what's going to happen inside. There's
Yeah.
here's a moment captured in a painting by Alex Ross of what you're going to experience.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Hmm.
I should. Yeah. I should catch up on Astro City. I do. I have not. I have. Yeah. Most of it, but not all of it. So I should
Sure,
get caught up on
yeah.
that.
And like I said, I was worried about the ongoing, and it's great, and I think you'll love it. I'm excited to talk to you
Hmm.
about it. So,
Yeah. 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 I think the last, like collection I read was the one that had the old lady who had bought all the used robots, like
oh yeah,
robots that used to belong to mad scientists, and she had them all in her like robot museum.
yeah, and that's
So,
that's in the ongoing. It's pretty early in the ongoing,
right,
right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's I think that's
awesome.
that's
That
the
rules.
collection that I left off on. Yeah. So I guess
Yeah,
I got some
great
good stuff to read ahead of me.
for sure.
So, I put way too much thought into my answer. I pretty quickly narrowed it down to five.
Okay.
I love Back to the Future. That's a very popular answer among our guests. I was just the right age when Back to the Future 2 and 3 came out. Just the wait between 2 and 3 with the to be concluded ending at the end of Back to the Future 2. That was
Yeah.
so exciting. And then I can remember I guess as a teenager, probably thinking about the movies after rewatching them and having the revelation of like, wait a minute, there's a few hours when there's four DeLoreans in Hill Valley at the same time because of the time traveling, and said, that kind of stuff is
Yeah.
amazing.
Great.
I also love 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I originally saw the first time on a VHS tape, probably pan and scan, and I was underwhelmed by it. And then the next time I saw it as an adult, it was projected on a big screen in a movie theater in 70 millimeter. That's the way to see it because that
Yeah.
way it blew my mind and it became one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. As
So,
as we've discussed, I there's a theater here in town that screens it on 70 millimeter pretty regularly.
yeah,
And I really got to make it to one of those shows.
you really should. Yes. And just, the way that the effects in that movie from 1968 still just kind of make you feel like you're really in space when you watch it
Yeah.
still to this day. So I love that one. Since we are also allowing for TV shows, I also had to consider The Twilight Zone. A couple years ago, I decided to watch every episode of every incarnation of The Twilight Zone. Love that show, just the influence that it's had on every TV show that came after after the original series. Just and you also get, it's sci-fi and sometimes it's fantasy, sometimes it's like a ghost story, sometimes there's not any, sometimes there's none of that, sometimes it's just like a weird story with a twist.
Yeah.
So
Great
Twilight
show.
Zone is great. Yeah. And since we are also expanding into other media like comics, I also had to consider Fantastic Four comics.
Oh, sure.
I also discovered the Fantastic Four at exactly the right age. It's what got me into comics. I started reading it right before Walt Simonson took over the series for his run, and it was like that's what hooked me and got me into comics. Just the best runs of the Fantastic Four. It's comic book science. It's not realistic, but it's just great. These far flung sci-fi adventures with giant aliens and creatures from strange worlds, and Mr. Fantastic inventing crazy inventions. And in fact, the current run written by Ryan North has science stuff that kind of feels like it could be real science that
Yeah, he's
they're
he's
using
he's
to,
great at that stuff.
yeah, that they're using to solve a lot of the problems that come up. So I
Yeah,
was,
and I've been reading that run on your recommendation, and it's a blast. So thank you.
yeah. So I came really close to saying that that was my answer to the question, but then, and in fact, I wasn't sure like today if maybe that would be the answer when we did this recording. But since the original form of the question when we started this season of the podcast was favorite sci-fi movie, that was the way that we originally phrased the question. I kept coming back to Contact
Oh, sure.
because that movie came out when I was 16. There's probably some things in it that are like a 16-year-old's version of I'm 16 and this is deep, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
But it really hit me at the right age. My love of movies was growing. I remember having a conversation that summer with an older relative of mine whose opinions about movies I respected, and he was saying that he wanted to see a planet full of aliens at the end of Contact. And I was surprised to
Huh.
find myself going, no, actually, you're wrong, because that's not the point, because this is, that's not really how it's supposed to be. That's not really what it's about. And it has
Yeah,
these ideas about science and faith in science, and it just, like I keep saying, it came to me at the exact right time, I think, for me to
sure.
be formative
Yeah,
and influential. And I've watched it so many times, and most of the time when I watch it, I just watch it by myself, which I think is my preferred way of watching it.
hmm.
And I usually sit silently through the end credits with that Alan Silvestri score playing
Oh,
and just kind of contemplate what I just saw. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's optimistic, but it also has this message that although we're not alone in the universe is huge. And some people, I think, maybe don't like the idea that the universe is vast and enormous and we're very tiny in it, but I've never quite been able to articulate why I like the idea that I'm very tiny in a vast universe.
Sure,
Maybe it's just because it means that my problems are not that bad. Like my
sure. Yeah,
problems
yeah. No,
are
I get
very
that. I
small
understand that.
compared to the
Yeah,
size. There's the famous opening shot of Contact is where it starts on the Earth and then it just keeps pulling back and back and back and back and back and back, and you just see like the entire universe basically. So yeah, after all these years, every time I watch Contact, it's still meaningful and comforting, and it makes me think still. So that's my answer.
great,
Contact. There it
great
is.
answer. And
Yes.
and of course I and of course I feel bad that my only response to that is I saw it once, like maybe 5 years ago, and I liked it fine.
That's
Like,
okay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but it was like such a like passionate and you know such a great. It was such a great like you're selling the movie so well,
But
and
maybe
I
if
don't
you
know.
had
I
seen
feel
it when you were 16 and
when
it
I
had
was
been
17,
formative for you,
16,
it would
yeah,
have been different. Yeah.
right, right, yeah. Well,
Well, guess
anyways, all
what?
right, great.
I took my sister to see it because my mom kind of made me take her to see it, and she hates it because Jake Busey is terrifying in it as a religious fundamentalist terrorist. So she never
Sure,
wants to see the
yeah,
movie again because she is so traumatized by her memories of it. So everybody has a different experience with it.
right.
Okay. Then, with that, I think we can wrap things up not only for this week, but for this season. We do have, though, a bonus episode coming to you next week. It's going to be our mailbag episode where we answer questions from you, our listeners. With the help of our friend and guest host, Joe Hennes, the aforementioned Star Trek and DC Comics fan, same guy. So be
That's
sure
him.
you keep an eye on your feed and listen to that next week. As always, we want to thank Morgan Davy for our show's logo and Jordan Brandon for our theme song. Listeners, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com. We're all over social media as well as TeePublic and Patreon. You can email us at movinrightalong@toughpigs.com. You can chat with other Muppet nerds on the Tough Pigs Discord server. Anthony is on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. I'm on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. I'm on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. So yeah, go find all that stuff and keep an eye out for future things. Anthony has been very politely suggesting to me that we not take as long a break between seasons this time, so we're gonna really try hard to make that happen. So after the mailbag episode, hopefully it will not be too many weeks before you hear us talking about Kermit Swamp Years. That's the next thing.
Kermit Swamp Years is the next
Oh
thing.
boy, Kermit Swamp Years. Can't wait. So stay tuned and watch the sky and RU3.
I was gonna say RU3.
Doctor?
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 Oh, doctor.
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 Just a couple of doctors.
Doctor's in the hallway.